Once you do it once, you know, like your tummy will just be big. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Grace of the PhilGrace here. If it's your first time seeing my fine face, I say you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. In today's video, I want to discuss why I waited till marriage to have sex. You know, I had lots of controversies among some of my friends, and I wouldn't say they're not really close friends though. But when I just tell people that, cause my close friends, they believe that you should wait till marriage. You know, when I talk to people and I tell them that, oh, I was in relationship with my husband for 5 years and we never had a thing together, like we never had sex, they will be like, wow, is that possible? No, it's not. Like the way they look at me, hey, like, so at some point I stopped telling people. And but now I think I don't see any reason not to tell. If you like, believe me. If you like, don't believe me. It's your choice. And one thing I also remembered was during my bridal shower, my friends that were around during the bridal shower, one of them asked, when was your first kiss? And I said my first kiss was during the court marriage, because we had our court marriage before the bridal shower. And you know that in court marriage here in Nigeria, I don't know how it is done. You have to kiss in the presence of the court of law. So we had to. In fact, it was a very awkward moment for me. Like it was a very very awkward moment. Sorry, my mom was sitting. Some family members were there, and they want us to lock lips. Something we've not done before. You know, it's not like we've practiced it before. So when I said it during my bridal shower, it was like a wow. And yes, that was how it was. You know, being in relationship for 5 years and you tried as much as possible to ensure that there were no intimacy of, you understand the kind of intimacy I'm talking about. So for me, I have a lot of reasons. Like if I'm told that, okay, why do you decide to wait till marriage, out till marriage before you have sex, I'll begin to give you lots of reasons. And the very first thing is that the fact that I want to honor God. Yes, what God says. You know, the one thing that keeps driving me is what First Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 3 says, and said, for this is the will of God. You know, the Bible says it is the will of God. And I really want to do what God wants. You know, one prayer I keep giving myself every now and then is, God, whatever I'm doing in my life, let it be your will. Whatever step I want to take, let it be your will. So if I'm doing the will, then, and the Bible already told me that it is the will of God, then I should be able to follow. If I want his words, his promises to be for me, this is my own belief according to this Bible verse. And it says, okay, I have it here. For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality, that each one of you know how to control his own body in holiness and honor, not in the passion of lust, like the Gentiles who do not know God. Now, that's what I'm trying to say in essence, is that it's a way, me keeping myself until marriage, it's a way of me honoring God. You know, when we're growing up, I like my Sunday school classes while we're growing up. And one thing we were taught, and I would always remember vividly, is that my body is the temple of God. Like my body is the temple of God. So if God owns my body, like if God is to dwell in my body, he wouldn't want to dwell in a place that people just come in, enter anyhow with no regard, and come out. Are you getting me? It's a personal place for God. And another thing that keeps me going in that regard of honoring God was one thing my grandma would say. You know, when we remember the story of Joseph, when Potiphar's wife wanted to lure Joseph into sexual sin, he said something, and I will say it in Yoruba. I'm going to interpret it. He says, kémi kí ó ṣe yìí, kémi kí ó ṣe sí Ọlọ́run. You know, whenever my grandmother calls me when I was in school, she'll be like, kémi kí ó ṣe yìí, and I'm to finish the statement with kémi kí ó ṣe sí Ọlọ́run. That is, that I do this and sin against God. So I wasn't willing to do anything to sin against God. Okay, I'm not calling those that are not virgins or those that have experienced one thing or the other. I'm not calling them sinners. Please don't get me wrong. I'm talking about why I waited until marriage. Okay, till marriage. I understand that there are lots of people that they wanted to wait. I think I saw one comment on my YouTube on one of my videos, and I was really really like, I felt, how do I put it, I felt pity, or I wouldn't say pity, but I felt I saw this person's desire to do this. Like, she commented that, oh, that if not for what happened, that she would have been able to share this story. And I understand that probably she has lost her virginity through something one way or the other, and it's a thing that she's still bold about it, to talk about it. And I hope she's still keeping herself and ensuring sexual purity. You don't have to be a virgin before you ensure sexual purity. You probably, okay, have gone into one thing or the other before, and you have just decided that, okay, this is the time now I want to consecrate myself and leave myself until marriage. Yes, it's possible you do that. Okay, so another thing that also keep me going, I was not willing to go through any emotional instability, any emotional trauma, any emotional whatever it can be called. I was not willing to have a man that would enter into me, and at the end of the day will tell me that, no, we are not going to be together again. Like, after, I feel like, I don't know what the man might have lost on his own, but I personally would feel like I've lost a thing. Yes, and I didn't want any emotional attachment. Yes, I didn't want emotional attachment. I don't want to be, this person have had sex with me, so can I really forget this person? I didn't want any emotional attachment. So as a result, I just decided that, okay, I was going to wait until marriage. Another thing was that I wanted to, like, I wanted to keep my virginity as a respect for myself and my partner. There was something my dad did while we were growing up, and I would never forget. He one day of late memory though, one day he called us all, myself and my siblings, into the sitting room, and he began talking. It was their wedding anniversary then. My mom was seated, my dad of late memory was seated, my siblings and I were seated. And he started talking. While he was talking, do you know that all his talks was just praising my mom? And while he was praising my mom, thank you for this and that, this and that. He now told us something of which I held on to, and I'm still holding on to, of which he met my mom as a virgin. So meeting my mom as a virgin, there is a way he carries my mom specially. Are you getting me? So I that got stuck in my memory that, hello, I want someone to also carry me like head, like someone to carry me specially, because I kept myself. I didn't want anything of, okay, probably I was not a virgin before I got married, then anything will happen and my husband will say, okay, oh, like, just to avoid anything of distrust. Are you getting me? Just to avoid distrust, and also to ensure that, okay, I respect my body, myself and my partner. Another thing was, hello, I don't want unwanted pregnancy. That was one thing I really feared that too. Because while growing up, I grew up in an environment where I had my mates that got pregnant. I had senior ones that got pregnant. So they were like, Yoruba will say, Eshinwaju ni teyin wo sare. That is the us at the back is looking at the us in the front to move. Looking at the society, seeing lot of ladies, lot of girls making mistake, then I knew that it wasn't the choice for me. I knew that I was not willing to go through that. I knew I was not ready to make such mistakes. Are you getting me? Like, I don't want to make that kind of mistakes. Most girls then, thank God that now, even when girls make mistakes, of which I really don't want girls to go into such to make mistakes. When girls make mistakes, they still go back to school. Then most parents are not enlightened enough that, okay, let them go back to school. So I discovered that there are schooling stuffs. And I was like, no, if this should happen, then I need to keep myself, because we're told that once you do it once, you know, like your tummy will just be big. So, and I didn't want that. Like, I didn't want that. I don't want to go through. I was really running away from unwanted pregnancy, and I didn't want to go through unnecessary trauma, unnecessary experience that would make me low in the society. And it's good, shout out to single mothers out there that are really struggling and still making it out there. Like, I really respect them, and I really credit them. So I didn't want unwanted pregnancy. Yeah. And I didn't want to go through any case of abortion. Please, so I didn't want to go through any case of abortion. So I didn't want any case of that. So I actually decided to keep myself. Like, no, no unwanted pregnancy. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to stand out. I didn't want to make mistakes. And I saw me keeping myself and waiting till marriage as a way of building connection, like a very strong connection with my partner. Like, it helps us to be locked up, like in every aspect, emotionally, you know. I know that, okay, I'm connected to just one person emotionally. You know, the emotional stand, type of emotional stand I'm talking about. And even spiritually, I just knew that, okay, I'm connected. I want a good foundation, a good connection with my partner once I get married. So that's another reason. Then another thing I would add is that I wanted to be a good example, because I wanted to be able to tell my younger ones, the one coming in front of me, like in the society, I want to be able to tell them that, okay, I kept myself, so you can do it too. You know, if probably I had made mistakes, I would just be telling them that, oh, don't make mistake because I made mistake, or the mistake is auto. No, I want to be able to tell them that, hello, if I held myself, then you should be able to. I held myself, then you should be able to. So I wanted to be a good example. I wanted to be a good model for the younger generations that are coming ahead. And the last point on that is that I really want to enjoy God's blessing and favor. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying those that have access, those that are not virgins. I'm not saying, or those that have sex before marriage. I'm not saying they are short of God's blessing and favor. Now, this is me talking for my personal self. Like, I really want to enjoy God's blessing and God's favor. Okay, so I want to enjoy what comes with the blessings that comes with keeping myself until marriage. I wanted to enjoy the blessings that come with purity. I wanted to enjoy the blessings that come with holiness. So guys, I've come to the end of this video, and you are watching this video and you've probably done it before and you are not yet married. You can still maintain sexual purity. Are you getting me? Like, you can still wait until marriage before you do it. You can still decide that, okay, you are not going to do it again. You are going to keep yourself for the person you want to get married to. And if, yes, that's what we call being celibate. And if you are the type that, okay, probably things have probably you've gone through one trauma or the other, and through that trauma, like things like rape or forceful sex, that's rape. Yeah. So probably you've gone through rape and you are finding it difficult to heal. I pray that the Lord will heal you, and it is my heart desire that you also don't, because you've gone through it, want to just continue. You can still keep yourself. And thank you guys for watching my YouTube videos. Once again, I'm Grace of PhilGrace. If it's your first time you see my fine face, I say you're welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. I love you. Bye.